Very well.
Welcome back. Witness number 1 and number 2. For continuation of your testimonies before this Commission of Inquiry to Local Government Councils and related matters, I want to remind both of you that you are still under oath before I hand you over to Madam Chair for us to proceed. Thank you. Madam Chair, over to you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Batchily.
Good afternoon.
Madam Mayor, you are welcome back.
Thank you.
Council, you may proceed.
Yes, I asked witness number 2, the mayor, as to why is it important to have a procurement office.
Nena belegi siawla neka ya hamne ya neka ñaarel sere vitay. Nena legi lu moy laajte moy lan moy important procurement office.
The Lita Mwara Amoy is part of the council structure, Bayana.
One, the reason why you're supposed to have a procurement office is part of the structure of council.
So, and number 2, I'm the million saslo, I'm the mom guy.
And number 2, there is a tax which they themselves supposed to carry on this tax.
And so they are the unit responsible for procurement, correct?
Nena kon ñoña ñoo xamne ñoo responsible procurement.
Wow.
Yes.
You also know about the contracts committee.
Nena
You also know about the contracts committee.
Nena xam nga tamit luy contract committee.
Contracts committee.
Contract committee.
Wow.
Yes.
What is their role?
Nena lan moy sen taxaway?
For just name binum waherek, different contracts, purchase items you have council sohlanako, etc. and so forth.
As per the name, they are there to take care of the contracts and so many things in council that council needed.
So the contracts committee oversees all procurement related matters in council.
Nena kon contract committee ñoo nek ñoo xamne ñoo dé sét lepp li nga xamne joggé na ci wala lu wara dem ci procurement wala joggé ci procurement ci council.
Everything that has to do with procurement is administered by the contracts committee.
Lepp li nga xamne bokka na ci yefi procurement yépp dañ ko dé administrer ñoko dé administrer moy contract committee.
Do you understand?
Nena fofu leer na.
Wow.
Yes.
So you know that anything that has to do with procurement has to be done by the contracts committee together with the procurement unit, correct?
Nena kon yegg nga li ne lepp li nga xamne procurement dañ ko wara def dafa wara jaar ci contract committee ñoom ak procurement ñoo wara tok defar lool.
I don't know.
Ak procurement ñoo wara tok defar loolu. It has to be done by the contracts committee and the procurement unit.
Nena ñoko wara defar ñoy contract committee ak procurement unit tamit ñoo xamne ñoko wara defar.
Moy liñ wara purchase ci at bi la wax nda.
And you mean what to be purchased in a year?
Yes.
Nena wow?
Okay.
Yes.
And you have to have a procurement plan.
Nena te da ngeen wara am lu ñuy wax procurement plan.
No.
Yes.
In 2019 was there a procurement plan?
Nena at 2019 da procurement plan am na won fofu.
Fatena xejna ci yob nañu sumna dembalé.
I cannot remember. I think if you could help, CEO could help us.
So there was no procurement plan?
Nena dafa melni amuton procurement plan.
Not. There was no procurement plan.
Nena fofa mom dafa melni amut procurement plan amut si 2019.
Not dafa melni procurement plan amut 2019.
Procurement plan amut at 2019.
There was no procurement plan, Honorable Mayor, in 2019.
Yalla mo wal nena amut procurement plan si at 2019.
And this is confirmed by highlighted by the compliance review.
Nena te so sete compliance review tamit lol tamit wona nañ ko fofu dafa feñ fofu.
And confirmed by the CEO.
nee na te CEO si boppam mu dal di ko dëgëral ne lu am la.
CEO, is that correct?
Yes.
CEO mu ne waaw.
Now, why was there no procurement plan in 2019, Honorable Mayor?
nee na lu tax procurement plan amutoon si ati 2019.
loolu xanaa ñu laaj ko CEO bi man I cannot answer that.
For that I cannot be able to answer that unless we ask the CEO.
Why can you not answer it?
nee na lu tax yow mënuloo tontu loolu.
waaw comme benn waxoon naa la jafe-jafe bu ñu amoon ne there was no procurement office for number one.
As I said, number one, the difficulties we faced that there wasn't or there was not like a procurement office.
And number two, that's purely administration.
And number two, it was purely administration.
Do you not have a role in making sure there's a procurement plan?
Nenda au yaw amlo warugal wala yon pour mun a gis ne procurement plan am na.
I'm now warugal si wax naa ko from day one.
Yes,
my role is to oversee, to supervise, to oversee the council.
Yes, I have said that from day one that yes, I have the obligation because I'm there to supervise council.
Did you go ahead?
Why again luñ ma wax rek laa mun a xam.
But again, whatever I am informed is what I know.
Did you request for a procurement plan?
Nenda yaw da nga laajte woon pour ñu am procurement plan.
I cannot remember.
I cannot remember.
Why did you not request for a procurement plan?
Nena lu tax laajte lo wala waxuloo leen pour ñu am procurement plan. I cannot remember whether I did ask or not.
Mr. CEO, did the mayor request a procurement plan in 2019?
No.
Moom ne did request a procurement plan.
The CEO has answered that you did not request for a procurement plan in 2019.
Nena CEO wax na ne 2019 de yow waxloo wala laajteeloo pour ñu am pour ngeen am foofu procurement plan.
Loolu la CEO bi wax man li ma la tontu mooy ne I cannot remember that laajte naa ko or laajte wu ma ko su fekkee ne moom mun naa remember ne laajte wu ma ko xëy na moom he can prove that man weddi wu ma ne CEO lu mu wax de.
Yes, that is what the CEO said. But as I said for myself that I cannot remember whether I did or I did not. But maybe if at all he can remember that I did, yes, he can say so.
The law requires that there has to be a procurement plan.
Nena loi bi moom li la wax ne procurement plan dafa war a am.
The law requires that Mr. Batchily as the CEO must administer the area council.
Nena te loi bi li la wone ne Mr. Batchily ki nga xam ne moo nekk CEO dafa war a nekk ko xam ne mooy war a administer council.
The law requires that the chairperson, the mayor or the mayors, as the case may be, supervises the CEO.
Nena te loi bi léegi ni la tëral ne yow sa boppa chairperson bi wala yow mayor bi yéen a war a nekk ñoo xam ne da ngeen war a supervise CEO.
So that what the CEO did not do in accordance with law.
Li nga xam ne lépp li nga xam ne moom def na ko te àndut ak loi bi.
What the CEO did not do in accordance with law.
Nena li nga xam ne CEO def na ko wala defu ko si yooni loi.
He should be instructed by way of a letter.
Nena war ngeen ko yëgal wala war ngeen ko wax pour mu def ko te war ngeen ko bind si comme lettre.
Demanding that he does what the laws require him to do.
Pour ngeen gis ne ngeen yëgal ko mu gis ne mu dal di def li nga xam ne loi bi loolu la wax pour mu def.
Did you write?
Nena ndax bi nga ko bindoon. I cannot remember writing.
Mënuma remember pour bind ko anything about concerning procurement plan.
I cannot remember writing to the CEO anything concerning the procurement plan.
So as it stands, we don't have evidence of a letter written to the CEO requesting for a procurement plan.
Nena kon ba léegi amuñ evidence bi nga xam ne bu mel ni lettre li nga xam ne bind nga ko jox ko CEO pour gis ne procurement bi mu am plan.
Waaye loolu wax naa ko man mënuma remember fu ma waxee affaire procurement plan.
What I have said that I cannot remember where I have said about a procurement plan.
Did the council discuss the issue of a procurement plan in 2019?
Nena at 2019 that council mus nañ toog pour waxtaan affaire procurement plan.
In your general meetings, council meetings?
Nena si sa general council meeting.
Mënuma remember loolu.
I cannot remember that.
If there is no procurement plan, do you know that all the procurement done in that year would be unlawful?
Nena su nekkee amut procurement plan ndax xam nga loolu ne loolu su amut da nga gis ne procurement yëpp bi nga xam ne def ngeen ko si at boobu du ànd ak loi bi.
Xawma loolu.
I don't know that.
So if there is no procurement plan, the procurements that will be done in that year would not be lawful.
Nena su amut procurement plan da nga gis ne at boobu procurement bi nga xam ne yëpp def ngeen ko du ànd ak loi bi du ma ko tërale.
And if you do not have a procurement plan, then you can't have a proper budget.
Nena te soo amut procurement plan doo mën a am proper budget.
Do you know this?
Na xam nga loolu.
maa ngi ko doon dégg tey.
It's my first time to hear this. It's news to me.
because the budget would, of course, factor in the expected expenditure for a given year.
Nena da nga gis ne budget bi suñ koy liggéey nuñ ko xayma wala fan koy tëral mooy expectation yi nga xam ne am ngeen ko si at bi li nga xam ne loolu ngeen war a dépense.
And this will be informed by the procurement plan.
Nena te li lu ko war a leeral wala lu war a xibaar li mooy lu ñuy wax procurement plan loolu rek moo mën a leeral loolu.
In relation to procurement.
si bi nga xam ne mbiri procurement.
So this should have been enforced.
Nena lii dafa war a nekk loo xam ne da ngeen ko fa war a taxawal mu ngeen enforce ko.
Do you know this?
Nena xam nga loolu.
xëy na su fekkee ne duñ mën a am budget bu correct xam naa budget bi comme ba mu demee si ministry bi ñoom dañ ko reject.
No, I know we don't have a correct budget. The time it was taken to the ministry, it will be rejected.
No, I mean, you have your budget and you go through your bilaterals. If they don't ask you whether you have a procurement plan, then you may escape on that.
Nena so amee sa budget bi nga dem fi nga xam ne foofu nga ko yóbbu lu ma wax bilateral nena su fekkee ne ñooñu laajtewuñ la affaire procurement plan nena mbir mi noonu la moo demee.
But just because someone doesn't do their job supposedly properly.
waaye comme am na ki nga xam ne nu mu war a liggéey defut noonu liggéeyam bi warut nu mu waree.
does not mean that the BCC shouldn't do their job.
Nena loolu taawut wala loolu taawut ba gis ne BCC waruñ def seen liggéey.
Now, most of the procurement that were done were single sourced.
Nena te soo seetee procurement yu bëri yi nga xam ne def ngeen ko foofu loolu yëpp nekk na loo xam ne lu ñuy wax single source.
We told Mr. Batchily that which was done in relation to procurement for single sourcing for the most part was against the law.
Nena te war nañ ko Batchily fii ne am na yoon yoo xam ne yu bëri wala dépense yoo bëri yoo xam ne yu bëri def ngeen ko si single source nena loolu yu bëri nga xam ne àndut ak loi bi.
Now, do you know why most of these procurement activities were single sourced, Honorable Mayor?
Nena na yow ndax am nga xam-xam foofu wala xam nga lu tax ay procurement yu bëri yi nga xam ne def ngeen def ko si single source.
Did it?
No.
Did you find out?
Nena ndax da nga find out da nga ut ba xam lu xew wala laajte.
Did it?
No.
Is there any reason why?
Nena ndax am na lu tax.
loolu li council that is pure administrative liggéeyi administration la.
Council, that is the work of the administration.
How do you understand the supervisory role of the mayor or mayoress or chairperson supervising the administration?
Nena yow supervise bi nga xam ne daf la war wala yow mayor bi yaa ko war a def wala chairperson bi mooy seen rôle supervising nena wax ñu kon yow loo si xam ban la war a def si supervising boobu.
How do you supervise them?
Nena naka nga dee supervise.
Through CEO bi lu ma wax.
Through CEO, what he do inform me.
Because man duma accountant.
Because I am not the accountant.
So ma demee accounts bi pour wax ne dama leen di supervise.
And even if I go to the accounts and I say I want to supervise them,
Man dama nax suma boppa.
I'm just joking to myself.
I'm not an expert in procurement.
I am not an expert in procurement.
So su ma duggee foofu tamit ne maa ngi seet procurement li ñoo def tamit dama nax suma boppa.
And if I enter there to say I want to find out what the procurement are doing, that means I'm fooling myself.
You don't have to be an expert.
Nena wala nekk sa expert.
You don't have to supervise the finance director per se in the strict sense.
Nena negut ne pour supervise ko comme nga dem topa ko di seet lan la moo def wala si lan la nekk lu ma wax strict sense.
You don't have to supervise the procurement officer.
Nena negut tamit procurement officer ngay supervise.
You don't have to supervise the director of administration, or let's say to supervise the cleaner.
Wala negut tamit ne da nga war a supervise the director wala nga cleaner nga supervise cleaner.
The law says you supervise their boss.
Nena loi bi lu mu wax mooy seen njiit bi nga xam ne mooy seen boss kooku nga war a
The
supervise.
person who supervises these people
Nena koo xam ne kooku tam moo dee supervise ñooñu.
is answerable to you.
Nena moom si yow la moo uyu.
So when he supervises the director of finance,
Nena yow soo supervise director of finance.
not yo, Mr. Batchily, he
Nena-
supervises the director of finance.
Nena CEO soo supervise director of
The
finance.
CEO supervises the other directors.
Nena CEO mu supervise ñeneen director
The
yi.
CEO supervises the various units.
Nena CEO mu supervise various units yi fa nekk.
It is his job
nee na liggéeyam la
to make sure
pour gis ne
they do their job.
pour ñu dafa war dafa lañu liggéey dañuy def seen liggéey nu mu waree.
Now it is the mayor's or the chairperson's job
nee na léegi sa liggéey la mayor bi wala chairperson
to make sure
pour nga gis ne
that the CEO does his job.
CEO def na liggéeyam nu mu war.
So, for instance, we have Mr. Batchily did not do so many things that he is supposed to do.
nee na comme suñ ko jëlee Mr. Batchily lu mu war a def defu ko yu nga xam ne yu bëri defu ko.
That's the case. We have him. He
Nena-
did not do so many things that he is supposed to do.
nee na te gis nañ ko lu bëri li nga xam ne war na ko defu ko.
Most he accepts.
nee na nangu na.
But he has to be supervised by the mayor.
nee na waaye moom mayor bi moo ko war a supervise.
Not for you to wait, whatever he brings, then you discuss. Whatever he does not bring, you discuss. That's how it works.
nee na nekkut ne yow da nga toog xaar ko lépp li nga xam ne isi na la ko nga ngeen dal di waxtaan si loolu lu mu isi doo leen waxtaan. nee na
The
loolu
mayor should request for things.
nee na yow lawyer bi yaa war a di laajte loolu.
Request for the audit report.
nga laajte audit report si.
If there are internal audit reports, you request for them.
nee na su fekkee ne am na internal audit nga dal di leen di laajte.
You read, take action, forward to general counsel.
nga jàng ko nga forward ko si general council.
If there are compliance reviews,
nee na su fekkee ne am na foofu compliance.
you request, you write.
nga bind ko request ko.
You take action or you go to general counsel and address the matter.
nga jël action wala sa boppa nga dem si general council ngeen gis ne ngeen mën a waxtaan mbir mi.
That is the supervision.
nee na lii mooy supervision.
If you wait for Mr. Batchily,
nee na soo toog nga xaar Mr. Batchily.
if things go wrong
nee na mbir mi lu mu demee su demee li nga xam ne àndut.
and he is faulty,
nee na te moom daana ba pare.
he may not bring it to you
nee na da nga gis ne loolu moom du la ko wax wala du ko isi si yow.
and you may not know.
te yow doo ko xam.
I don't know, I'm not sure whether we're on the same page.
nee na foog naa ne ñëpp si benn affaire bi laaj nekk.
Li council.
Youth council.
For now, last time bi wax naa la fi ne la.
I think last time I told you that.
dang dee bind nga laajte dara duñ la ko jox.
You write request of something and it will not be given to you.
And where the bus stop mooy ne.
And where the bus stop is that?
su fekkee ne laaj naa Mr. Batchily.
If I ask Mr. Batchily
Mr. Batchily asks mu laajte accounts.
and Mr. Batchily ask the account
or mu laaj procurement.
or procurement
or whoever affected.
or whoever he is affected
joxuñ ko ko.
and he is not given to him,
xëy na possibility ne joxuñ ko anyway man awuma ko laa mun a wax
the
sama
possibility is that maybe they did not give it to him. But for me, as I said, I did not get it.
and before the time I make some tenders.
And before the time I make some tenders,
xëy na di nga understand for example a classical example mooy the budget.
you might understand the typical example is the budget.
Account reconciliations accounts of council.
The reconciliation accounts of council,
etc. yooyu yëpp da nga koo laajte doo ko jox.
etc. All are requested, but they will
te
not
wax
give
naa la
it
fi
to you.
ne.
And I inform you that
the oversight supervisors yi ñooy the ministry.
the oversight supervisories are the ministry.
and ministry make it very clear bu ñu binda.
And the ministry make it very clear that let me not write to them.
No, now let's not confuse things. Let's not confuse things.
Nee na bu ñu jaxase mbir mi.
The ministry has a supervisory role.
Nee na ministry am na supervisory role.
Where you write as mayor,
Nee na soo bindee yow fi nga bindee mel ni mayor.
even where the case is, the procedure is wrong, where, for instance, the communication channel that we have in the law
Nee na even binde bi wala mbir mi nu mu demee yom andut waaye nekk na loo xam ne communication channel bi nga xam ne am nañ ko si loi.
is that the CEO is the official communicator with the ministry.
Nee na lu ñu wane foofu mooy mayor mooy communicator officers, CEO mooy communication officers to the ministry.
So when you have a council decision, for instance,
Nee na léegi yow soo amee council decision.
he is the one to write. He is the secretary. He is your secretary. He is the one to write.
Nee na moom dafa taxaw dafa mel ni sa secretary la moo war a bind.
So when council passes a resolution,
Nee na council su moom suñ joxee seen xalaat mooy resolution.
the mayor should not just write directly to the ministry.
Mais moom mun na nekk mu bind directly to the
The
ministry.
law is, Batchily is the secretary.
Nee na loi bi lu mu wane mooy Batchily moo nekk bindkat moo war a bind mooy secretary.
So, like you said last time, where you are frustrated, for instance,
Nee na comme yow sa bopp nga waxoon last time ne da nga dem ba frustrate.
where you are frustrated
Nee na fi nga am ne da nga concentrate.
and you had to write,
Nee na te bi nga demee ba ses war nga bind.
that, in my opinion, wouldn't be wrong.
Nee na moom pour gis ci sambi nekkutoon loo xam ne lu warut.
Because you have already exhausted all remedies.
Parce que da nga dem ba xat ba pare.
And the CEO had written numerous letters.
te CEO def na ala bind na lettre yu bëri.
So if you write to the ministry,
nee na léegi yow soo demee ba bind ministry.
so it is as a matter of desperation.
nee na loolu mun na nekk loo xam ne loolu sa xalaat discrétion la.
It would be as a matter of perhaps desperation.
nee na loolu mun na nekk léegi da nga dem ba cooku da nga sisu.
But the official communication is through the CEO.
nee na waaye soo seetee official communication normal channel bi mooy through CEO.
But that's not what I'm discussing now.
nee na waa nekkul ne loolu lañ nekk di waxtaan léegi de.
Let me just finish. What I'm discussing now.
nee na léegi ñu nekk di wax léegi mooy.
is the communication between council, mayor, and CEO.
nee na diggante ñettay council, mayor ak CEO.
That's what we are discussing.
nee na si loolu lañ nekk loolu la ñoo discuss.
How does council supervise the mayor?
naka la council supervise mayor.
How does the mayor supervise the CEO?
naka mayor bi war a supervise CEO.
And how does the CEO supervise the administration?
naka la CEO war a supervise administration.
You may go on.
nee na mën nga continuer si loolu.
foog naa explain nga ko explicitly.
I think what you have explained is very clear.
And yes, indeed, man moo tax ma wax la at the beginning na la CEO lu ma wax rek laa mën a xam.
And from the beginning, indeed, I told you or I informed you that whatever I am aware, I am informed by the CEO.
ma ko laajee tamit lu ma jox rek loolu laa mën a assume ne moo fa nekk.
If I ask him whatever he told me, that is what I would do assume that that is exactly in
The
place.
evidences are here, some of the evidences yoo xam ne moom si boppam maa ngi koo laaj budget bi.
And I have some of the evidence that he himself, I do ask him or I ask him about the budget.
moom tam mu ngi puus feneen waaye mënut a nekk.
But he was pushing somewhere, but it couldn't be possible.
Bank statements, bank reconciliation of council.
The bank statements, the bank reconciliation of council,
Puus ba soona mënu koo am.
he pushed until the last minute, but he could not be able to lay hands on it.
Do you have those letters?
And
Nena ba am nga letter yooyu?
maa indi naa leen.
Yes, I brought them.
So finance director bu woon ko carrément ne mënu koo defar.
And financial director told us that later he cannot be able to prepare them.
Later I understand that dañ am pour dem hire nit pour mu ñëw def ko.
Later I understand that we need to hire somebody to come and prepare them for us.
And coming back to the communication channel.
And when I come, if we come back to the communication channel,
It is so frustrating.
it is very frustrating.
So the way you bu ko explain nii.
The way you explain things,
That is the same thing lu ñu ministry bi di wax.
that is the same thing that we are told by the ministry.
So it means that su ma gisee Batchily ma war koo boole.
If I see Batchily and I want to involve him,
And I have a complaint against Batchily.
and I have a complaint against him,
So what the ministry is telling me
and what the ministry is telling me,
mooy Batchily moo ñu war a binda mu boole boppam.
that is Batchily who's supposed to write to them.
No.
So
Now let me maybe.
no, I'm not saying what you said, lead counsel. I'm saying li ñu ministry bi wax. It's very clear. The ministry is telling me don't write me.
I'm telling you what the ministry told us.
Don't
They
write to
informed
us.
not to write to them.
Let me assist you on that.
Then I had a mujapal na siyo.
See, council, general council, you have general meetings.
Then a general council, then I have general meetings.
Yes.
Yes.
You have the power to summon the CEO to come and answer to council.
Then am nga dollar pour nga summon CEO mu ñew uyu ci council.
Dafa ne nekk every time.
Yes, he's always there all the time.
You have the power to demand that he provide some evidence in relation to things you want. For instance, if the council wants him to present, to answer to an internal audit report, you have the power for him to explain and be asked questions.
Nena ma am nga doole pour nga gis ne loko sampalu melni internal audit. General council am nañ doole lool pour laajte ko mo dal di expliquer wala ay kayit yo xamne internal audit yi nga xamne joxe nañ ko na mom ci bopam am nañ pour ñu laajte ko. Yes.
Good. And when you have the power to make your decisions, your recommendations, for instance, right?
Nena so demé be ngeen wara def sen recommendation moy ci sa doole bi nga am pour def recommendation.
No, you have the power to make recommendations and pass resolutions.
Nena yow am nga doole pour nga def recommendation ci yo xamne resolution yi nga xamne joxe nañ ko.
So in this sense, Mr. Bojang, it's not her per se, individually. I am now talking about the general council.
Nena su ne yow nena nekut ne yow sa bopal la de nena general council la mo wax.
Now, when general council pass resolutions,
Nena general council suñ demee ba joxe seen xalaat mooy seen resolution.
and they are damning allegations against the CEO,
Nena bépp ñu daal di tuumal CEO.
this can be forwarded to the Service Commission.
Nena lii da ngeen ko war a yóbbu wala dafa war a dem si service commission.
Lead counsel.
Lead council.
Well, I hope you understand some frustration.
I swear I want you to understand my frustration.
The council, I said it here over and over again, unless and until believe.
I said here over and over, but maybe if at all, only if you don't believe on what I have
We
said.
have cases, your Hamlet, and call your name to the ministry.
We have cases that
we
used to
cannot bypass the ministry and send directly to the Local Government Service Commission.
send to the ministry, because we cannot bypass the ministry and send it to the local government commission.
I have evidences here where they will tell us, bypass you.
And I have evidence that they said to me that I cannot write my letters and bypass them.
We are discussing the same thing.
So
we are discussing the same thing.
They will not take it.
That was happening. Your statement on that part is true. Not your statement on that part. That the PS was insisting that communications for the commission must pass through him. That is true. We have seen that evidence from other area councils. I had told you the permanent secretary testified. We informed the permanent secretary that that is wrong. That communications meant for the ministry are for the ministry. Communications for the service commission cannot and should not and must not pass through the permanent secretary.
Service commission but water pass the secretary bi
So it is true they were insisting that it must pass through them. We have passed that level. Because we have agreed with you on that part. And I had said this had been strengthened by the current case of KMC and of course the ministry. Of course, Senator Martins, I think, was there. That the communications for the service commission cannot and should not pass through the ministry. So, if you were forced to do that, I hope the commissioners understand that. I hope the commissioners understand. I'm sure the commissioners understand. But that is for communications that are supposed to be through the commission ministry for the commission. That's not what we are discussing now. I am saying Mr. Batchily, as the CEO, is acting under the direction and control of the council. And the mayor being the head of council supervises the work of the chief executive officer. The law says a chairperson shall be the political head of local government area council. Preside at council's meetings. Supervise the general administration of the area council.
Supervise general administration council.
Yes. Supervise the general administration of the area council.
Supervise the general administration of the area council.
So my question is, are you familiar or aware of a GPPA, Government Public Procurement Authority, compliance review for every year? Are you aware of this?
GPPA and compliance rule every adbuneka.
Are you aware that they give their compliance review every year?
Compliance review.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, do you have access to this compliance review?
Wow, then could they discuss?
Yes, we do discuss about it.
How?
Batchily didn't go in this office,
Batchily used to bring it, or we will bring it to my office, we discuss about it.
Sometimes in a see council term.
And sometimes he will inform council.
Why sometimes?
Nena lu tamu neka I sometimes wala neko to bu neka.
Xam nga duma dee nekk si every council meeting.
No, you know I am not present in every council meeting.
Yes, but if, for instance, there's a council meeting and you're not present, you will be aware what has been discussed by way of minutes.
Nena why su ame council meeting soko feke wut sa why danga yek wala danga xam lan lañu waxon fofu parce que si minutes yi la.
Loolu dëgg la.
That is true.
So moo tax pour ma bañ a juum.
That is better for me if not to get lost.
Off my head.
Off my head.
Remember moo tax ma ne sometimes.
I cannot remember off here. This is why I say sometimes.
Now, when you discuss this compliance review with Batchily, is it just the two of you or is it discussed with the management as well?
Nena bi ngay waxtaan ak Batchily si mbir mi nena yoon ñaari wala si management bi.
Man duma dee talk management meeting.
I don't sit in a management meeting.
Now, how do you discuss that? With who?
Naka ngeen discuss li ak Batchily ak kan?
I'm not going this to my attention.
You can bring it to my attention.
So kum fa muna fekk rek we discuss it together.
Whoever he finds there, you can discuss it together.
Not in management.
But not in management.
Mr. Batchily?
Duma dee talk foofu.
Mr. Batchily?
Yes.
Do you discuss this with the mayor? All the compliance reviews?
Yes, I normally used to hand them over a copy to see the report from the GPPA.
Now, do you discuss it with her?
Yes,
do you have a discussion where you go through the compliance review with the mayor, page by page, and discuss it, issue by issue?
No, we never used to go page by page.
Do you have a discussion about the compliance review?
We look
contents.
We look at the general situation.
What is the general situation?
That the compliance level is low.
So you turn to the last page.
Pardon?
You just turn to the last page where they have the percentage, and you just discuss that the general percentage is very low for this year. That's all you do?
Yes.
But you don't discuss the content?
No, we don't discuss the content page by page.
Okay, Lord Mayor, the commissioner, the CEO says that you don't discuss the content, only the percentage regarding the compliance percentage.
Nena CEO mom wax na ne do len de discuss mbiri content moy li nga xamne lu mu omba nena len ni ngeen de waxtaan moy affaire percentage.
I cannot remember lan lañ de discuss.
I cannot remember exactly what do we normally discuss.
Ma day wax ne dafa low or dafa high.
Whether it is low or it is high.
Why xam naa ne sometimes the content yi nga xam ne moo fa nekk.
But I know sometimes the content that is in it.
Dinaa gis ne GPPA complain nañ lii.
I will see to it that GPP have complained about it.
Or GPPA wax nañ lii.
Or GPP have said this.
So dina waxtaan man won ma ne ma lii dinañ ko try defee ko nii or dinañ ko try defee ko nii.
So he will discuss with me and he advised me or we advise each other to say let us do this way or take this way.
So what action do you take after you are given the compliance review?
Then yow lan moy sa taxaway su demé be ñu jox la compliance bi review.
Xam nga coming back to 2019.
Coming back to 2019.
And I think you are discussing 2019.
Right.
I think we are still on the discussion of 2019.
Wax naa la jànkuwante yi problème yi nga xam ne moom la council amoon ci foofu.
I told you the constraints, the difficulties that council had.
Pour this office.
To have this office.
And the 2019 review bi nga xam ne moom la gaay indi.
And the 2019 review that they brought.
Bi nga xam ne moom nga discuss right now.
And the one we are discussing right now.
You put in mind is activities that happened in 2018, if I am right.
And let us put in mind that these activities had happened in the year 2018.
I stand to be corrected. Loolu laa foog.
I stand to be corrected. That is
yes, some will be 2018.
So dafa mel ni ñun si digga bi.
Nee na waaw am na ñoo xam ne 2018 la.
And the whole of 2019.
And at 2019.
Wow, so for now time bubu yep office was not established.
And I think that time the office was not established.
I'm not. Okay.
Do you know Aida Njai?
Nee na xam nga ko ñëw Aida Njai.
Very well.
Very well.
I have exhibit LGCC/BCC/IN/001.
Exhibit.
I will show you.
Then I'll go on.
This letter is dated 2014, is that correct?
Then a letter be 2014. Yes.
Now, how what was she employed as in 2014?
In 2014, ñoom buñ ko jëlee liggéey lan lañ ko kii assistant procurement officer.
Now, you have Aidan Jai in 2014 as a procurement officer.
Yes.
And she was there throughout.
Nena move on throughout.
In 2018, we have Sankung Fati.
Nena at 2018, kunyo am fofu moye kunyo wa Sankung Fati.
We also have Sankung Fati.
Nena am nañ fofu Sankung Fati.
Procurement actor and admin.
Procurement actor, admin.
Yes. So, for instance, Ida in 2014 was there when you took over in 2018. Ida was their CEO, correct?
Yes, was in the council, yes.
Now, not only was Mr. Hafner there, Ida was there in 2018, and as a procurement officer. Of course, there was a period that she was removed there and moved to the rates unit, which she complained about, and even wrote a letter to the permanent secretary. But the point is, at least you have 1 or 2 people who were working in this unit in 2018. Correct, Mr. Batchily?
Yes.
Now, we also have Sankung as well. Sankung wrote a letter to the Chief Executive Officer on the 14th of February 2018. In relation to the subject is the unprofessional handling of procurement affairs in BCC. Right? Sankung was, how long was he there, Mr. Batchily?
I don't recall really the duration. I don't, because the thing is, he was not brought in as a full-time staff.
Yes.
Which clearly indicated, the continuous struggle we were having with the procurement.
Who brought in Sankung Fati?
He applied for internship, I think.
Right.
I think that
And
was it. And I think after subsequently, either he was given a contract also, or he remained an intern. I really have forgotten.
Be it as it may, he was in the procurement unit. Correct?
Yes.
Now, my point is, Honorable Mayor, that there were people, at least 2 in the procurement unit during this time. In fact, Ida's transfer, I believe, was in 2019. Sorry, in 2020. When she was written to by the Chief Executive, and the copy to the letter was copied to the Lord Mayor BCC, Rates Manager BCC, Chairman Establishment Committee, and Chairman Local Government Service Commission.
And Chairman Local Government Service
And the letter reads, please be informed that you are deployed from the procurement unit to the rates unit.
Audit unit.
Audit. Rates.
Excuse me. Rates unit.
With immediate effect. This will allow the management to better manage procurement matters.
Management procurement matters.
Pending the proposed recruitments to be carried out by Local Government Service Commission.
Pending proposing Local Government Service Commission.
So people occupied this office.
Office bobu dafa amon ñu fa nekkon.
Were you not aware of this letter, Lord Mayor?
Letter bi yegulo na affaire letter bi.
Okay, maa ngi door a gis letter bi tey for the first time.
It's my first time to see the letter today.
Sankung man fekkuma Sankung mi def procurement Banjul City Council.
I did not found Sankung being a procurement officer in Banjul City Council.
And I think the CEO made it very clear fee.
And I think CEO have made it clear.
Mu ne bi ma ñëwee Dawda Hafna lañ fa fekkoon.
He said when I came I found one called Dawda.
Fekkuñ fa Dawda Hafna waaye moom moo doon def procurement mooy woon procurement officer waaye dañ fekk mu ngi feebar.
Although I did not found Dawda therein, but he was the procurement officer at the time.
He's wrong.
He was sick.
He's wrong. Because the documents we have shows that Mr. Batchily is wrong.
Legal soul. Man honestly dama la wax lu ma xam.
Lead counsel, honestly, I'm telling you, I will tell you or telling you what I know.
Man ma that Sankung gentleman bobu yagante wuñ Banjul City Council fogu mané amante nañ fa sax 1 month or so.
That gentleman, I did not stay long with him at Banjul City Council. I don't think we even spent a month there.
I remember you on a time advise me.
I remember he came one time to advise me.
That is for another day.
As for another day,
After Mudem.
he left.
Ida was there.
Ida was there.
Whether Ida was a qualified procurement officer or not, I don't know.
Whether she was a qualified procurement officer or not, I did not know.
Later, being my one knee, manko do register.
The letter that you showed me today is my first time to see
And the
it.
memo I gave you the last time, I'm not being a memo buma tender.
And I tendered a memo last time when I was here.
I respectfully buganga allow ma read ko.
I respectfully want you to allow me so that I can read it.
And this Lulu is all geared towards the case of Ida Njai.
And that is all geared towards the case of the said Ida Njai.
Can we show
Urman.
the witness her exhibits that were tendered
Pour
in
man,
this previous sitting?
For me,
mangi Japan man Ida Njai sax mako def procurement officer.
I'm thinking that Ida Njai, I personally make her to be a
Senior procurement officer. Senior procurement officer.
Senior procurement officer.
Te lolu mu ngi ci exhibit.
And that is exhibited.
Exhibit bi moy bu amé green. Mu ngi amé lifin bu green, paper bu green la.
And that exhibit is having a green paper.
What we do,
Then lu ñoo def mooy
at 1 we go on break.
nee na one ñu dal di dem break.
We will get the exhibit out,
nee na exhibit jamono boobu nañ ko génnee.
and you may even have time to go through it during the break,
nee na mun naa nekk break time nañ ko ut
so that you identify the exhibit itself,
pour nga woon ñu ay yow sa bopp nga woon ñu ay exhibit boobu.
and we will give you the opportunities to go through it.
nee na nga gis ne ñu dugal ko comédie ko.
Is that okay?
nee na loolu.
Wow.
What? Yes.
So
it's all
Papa
right.
Lee was February 2018.
This was February 2018.
Yung time bu ñu waguñ cancel.
At that time, I did not
No,
get to
in
council.
2020, I'm talking about 2020, Aidanjai, the letters written by Mr. Batchily in
Nena,
2020.
moom 2020 la moo bi nga xam ne Aida Njie Mr. Batchily boobu la ko bindoon.
Wa deployment bobu gis naa ko.
Yes, I saw that development letter.
I'm talking about the unprofessional handling of procurement affairs bi key binda.
I'm talking about the unprofessional
Sankung bumbinda.
handling of the procurement unit that was written by Sankung.
The reason why the letter is relevant
nee na lu tax letter bi mu am fayda.
is to show that there were people in the procurement unit.
nee na moom pour wane wala leeral ne wala dëgëral ne jamono boobu procurement unit
Not
dafa
that
am
the letter was written at your time,
neegut ne letter bi buñ ko bindee si sa jamono la de.
but that the letter is in 2018,
nee na letter bi moom 2018.
showing that there was also another guy called Sankung.
nee na boobu wane na ne am na ko fa nekkoon ku ñëw wax Sankung.
Is it Fati? Sankung Fati?
si nee na sant bi
Sankung Fati.
Fati.
Yes, who was also in the unit.
ki nga xam ne moom tamit mu ngi woon si unit bi.
Please go through this letter. It appears as if you have seen it.
nee na mën na ne dafa mel ni kayit bu ñu gis boobu la nga seet ko bi xam.
LGC/BCC/RL003. And may I please have the exhibit that I gave?
April 2021.
This is April 14, 2021.
First confirm whether that's the exhibit you are referring to.
I think so, yes.
nee na seetal la boobu la.
Thank you very much.
From
With the
the
permission of the chairperson, the witness wants to read the exhibit.
very well.
From Lord Mayor to the Chief Executive Officer, subject Aida Njie, complaint of maladministration against the Banjul City Council. In reference to the letter received from the Office of the Ombudsman on 15th February 2020, Aida Njie, who was appointed as Assistant Procurement Officer in June 2014 by the Banjul City Council and later promoted to Procurement Officer in 2018 by the Lord Mayor of Banjul as part of the restructuring process after the local government elections in 2018, However, she reported that she was transferred to the rate office in July 2020, even after she explained to you that she does not have experience in this sector. Aidenjai has raised the following grave concerns, which I need your immediate response. You tried to bribe her to sign a fake account. Committee, I repeat that again. You tried to bribe her to sign a fake contract committee minute on 24th June 2020, which she did not do. You harassed her in several instances. You gave her an indefinite suspension on a half salary for allowing the GPA came for their annual compliance and audit review on 19th October 2020 as the only procurement staff at that moment. In light of these serious allegations that have been made, I will need you to respond to these matters as they are in violation of our work ethics and code of conduct. The Banjul City Council should be a safe working environment for all staff, where staffs are free to execute their work as per their terms of reference without facing challenges. I will need to respond to these items by Friday, 14th October 2021. Rohey Malick Lowe, CC to the Office of the Ombudsman, Local Government Service Commission and Fire. So I'm saying this because later my bugon letter begin.
The reason why I wanted this letter to come.
If you look at the letter,
If you see the letter that I wrote,
I have this information like Aidan Jai, who was appointed Assistant Procurement Officer in June 2014.
I had this information that Aidan Jai, who was appointed as
directly from the Office of the Ombudsman,
procurement officer directly from the Ombudsman, as what I'm saying.
And then if you look at the Banjul City Council and later promoted to procurement officer in 2018 by the Lord Mayor of Banjul, I'm reading directly from the Office of the Ombudsman.
What they wrote to me from the Ombudsman, that is what I wrote to Batchily for him to explain to me what had happened. I had that.
The witness either talk na fee.
I had the witness came here.
And leader, you
and I said, this is why I said, if you are a leader, there are certain many things you will agree to it. And there are many things that I only heard of it from here.
I understand CEO have done complain.
I know CEO was complaining a lot about Ida. And many things, when he seated here, that was the time I had it.
And to be my letter be 2021.
And when I was writing this letter, this was in the year 2021. If somebody said to Ida that Mayor is not aware of this, he will not believe it.
Let me have that. The CEO testified
in
his last testimony. He said everything that is taken at council level is discussed with the mayor, correct, Mr.
Batchily?
If you have a management meeting, you always send copies to the mayor.
Yes.
Management meeting, the copies here.
Council.
Council.
It's hard for me to do this with Batchily.
It's very hard for me to bully with Batchily.
Why? I wouldn't say anything here. Batchily so I cannot defend it.
Anything that Batchily said here, if at all I cannot be able to defend it, I will say yes, it's good.
I don't wish doing this with Batchily.
I don't
wish doing this with Batchily.
I don't do this with Batchily.
Does Mr. Batchily send me
paper B?
The reason why I pull out this paper, he said, he informed me that everything he used to inform me.
But this is a memo that I am writing to him.
But this is a memo that I wrote to him.
Mr. Patrick.
I'm not writing it to Mr. Patrick. I wrote it to him.
And to my surprise, I told him.
And to my surprise, I told him.
Let me ignore that part.
Yes.
Did Mr. Batchily respond to your letter?
I
cannot remember him.
I cannot remember him responding.
Why is it the case? So do you keep a file in the office, at the mayor's office? Is there a file for all communications to the CEO or outside communications that are written, when they are written, and then whether they are correspondence received?
CEO office, excuse me, mayor's office. Na am ngeen fa file bi nga am ne communication yep yu jaar yu day ñëw ak yu génn da ngeen ko day file fofu.
Wow.
Yes.
Man Batchily suñ digante sax bindante mo fa bari wut.
My writing at Batchily is not much.
Pour ne every time binda man ma Batchily lolu
To say-
not only Batchily sax.
To
Why
say-
so gisee ma dem text ma pen bi ma binda rek xamal ne I have to.
To say we write each other or try to write is not very fluent. It's very rare. Not if it only Batchily.
Mr. Batchily, let me read this again to you. The Lord Mayor wrote a letter addressed to the Chief Executive Officer. It says, in reference to the letter received from the Office of the Ombudsman on 15th of February 2020, Ida Njai, who was appointed as Assistant Procurement Officer in June 2014 by the Banjul City Council, and later promoted to Procurement Officer in 2018 by the Lord Mayor of Banjul as part of the restructuring process after the local government election in 2018. However, she reported that she was transferred to the Rates Office in July 2020, even after she explained to you that she does not have an experience in this sector. Ida Jai has raised the following grave concerns, which I need your immediate response. You tried to bribe her to sign a fake contract committee meeting on 4th June 2020. You harassed her in several instances. You gave her an indefinite suspension on a half salary. In light of these serious allegations that have been made, I will need you to respond to these matters as they are in violation of our work ethic. Now, Mr. Batchily, did you receive this letter?
Yes, I think, yeah, I recall.
Did you respond to it?
Not too sure about that.
Why? The ombudsman raised these issues.
Yeah, but then the letter that I received, or the memo that I received, came from the mayor, not directly from the ombudsman.
Yes, but the ombudsman raised all these issues.
Yeah, and then all these issues that were raised here, you know, I had discussed it with her verbally.
Verbally.
I believe it's a convenient point. We will come back. It's already one. And GRTS has already taken the signal. We rise.